Good day everybody, my name is RagingRaptor and welcome to a new World of Tanks preview video. Today we are going to have a look at the Turtle Mk1, an upcoming tier 8 British tank destroyer. If it will be reward or premium, it's not yet disclosed. My guess, or my educated guess, would be a premium because that would be the first tier 8 premium tank destroyer of the British tech line. And it would, very well fit into the tech line in general. Like, this is basically a lower tier tortoise, and well, go figure with that name. It's called a turtle, and the tortoise is a tortoise. You know, you get the gist, right? It's a very interesting looking tank with a very unique gun, something we don't really have yet in the game. It has a 430 alpha gun, which is pretty darn new. If I'm not mistaken, there is not a single tank in the game with 330 alpha. We just have 360 and 320 and 350 when you take AP rounds of the Panzer IV-H, if I'm not mistaken again. So yeah, this is the Turtle Mk1, and again, if you want to read through what Wargaming told us about it, well, I'm going to leave the link in the comment section below or the video description below. I would highly now like to start and have a look at the tank and compare it to the AT-15, because then again, it will most likely be the tank which it's going to compete on being, yeah. The Turtle Mk1 has 1,400 hit points, which is 50 hit points lower than what the AT-15 has. The armor are pretty similar, but there are differences. The front armor is the same with 228 millimeters. The side armor, however, is 50 millimeters weaker, with the AT-15 having 152 millimeters on the side. As you can see here, these orange patches are all 152 millimeters thick. Excuse me, I mixed the numbers up. The lower side armor, however, is the 101 millimeters of armor the Turtle Mk1 will have. And lastly, the rear of the Turtle is 76 millimeters, while the AT-15 has 101 and 76 only on the lower side. So in general, it looks like the AT-15 has better survivability when it comes to side armor, side scraping in quotation marks, and obviously, well, in general. But, and if you will look at the pictures, and as soon as the tank comes to a test server where we have access to, I will have a look at the armor model more closely, but this will take some time, obviously. But you can see it has a cupola, but we don't know yet how thick it is. And I personally think that those few rangefinders over here, they won't really be weak spots. At least it doesn't look like it. It wouldn't make a lot of sense. But the cupola might be. The lower plate also looks rather thick, especially with this plate over here. And, well, the gun mantle looks thick as well. So it is pretty hard to say how thick the cupola will be and how thick the armor in general will be. But when we look from this picture right here, my guess would be 228 and 228. But again, we'll have to have a look at it. In general, the armor looks, or from the pictures again, looks pretty feisty. This side armor with only being 101 millimeters thick is not that big of a deal, and most likely the lower side armor will also be only 101 millimeters thick. But then again, when we compare it to what the AT-15 has, it's nothing new, because it also just has 101 millimeters of side armor. The only real challenge might be to decheck this tank with damage, in my opinion. But as soon as it comes around like this, you shouldn't have a big issues with a same tier opponent. As a lower tier opponent, and if you are in a +-2 matchmaker and you are on the lower end of the food chain, you might have a lot of troubles penetrating this beast over here. Now, but what does it have else? Well, it has an 800 horsepower engine and gives it a power to weight ratio of 13.3, which is, well, around 3, well, no, not around, it's less than 3 HP per ton ratio more. This means the Turtle will accelerate faster than the AT-15 and will be faster on straights and on hill climbs. Why I say on straights? Because it usually stays on the 20 kilometer mark more consistently than the AT-15 will. Obviously, it's not a big difference, and the problem will still be that it is slow. It is and will fit very darn well into the tank line. And sadly, Well, things just crashed itself. Something which I'm all the way too familiar with, or something which in general or at the moment happens way too often. I'm sorry for that little inconvenience. Well, the gun traverse angles are 20 degrees per second, which is slower than the 40 degrees per second, or I probably think it is the 27 degrees. It's still slower, but the whole traverse rate is 23 degrees per second, which is around 2.14 degrees faster than the AT-15s. And I think suspension traverse is a little bit more important than the gun traverse. The gun traverse on this tank is just 20 degrees to the left and 20 degrees to the side. It is worse than what the AT-15 has with 25 on each side. So again, it can look like this and like this, but it is similar to what the Tortoise has with 20 degrees to either side. So the people which like to play the Tortoise, they will probably really like how to play the Turtle, because they're not only the same with the name, really. The view range is as bad as the AT-15s with 370 meters. My suggestion would most likely be to play this tank with tank gun rammer, with vents, and with binos. I know it sounds weird to have binos with this tank, but sometimes, well, in the end, this is a breakthrough tank, or you can even call it a Sturmgeschütz in certain situations. You are here to break through, you are here to go through the enemy lines with its armor and with its consistency. So sometimes you probably get shot at 400 meters and they probably bounce on you. So sometimes it's just better just stop for a second and use those binos and spot the enemies and return your fire. This is something I, for example, do when I'm playing the AT-50. I'm just going to quickly do this and this to show you. And even without a crew, we get around 466 meters of view range when we stay still, which is, in my opinion, a pretty decent trade-off. Obviously, the Tortoise doesn't need it. We can play it easily with coated optics and a good crew and some rations, and we get to the 486 meters mark, which is phenomenal. Even the Churchill game carrier, I'm playing with binos, and, well, it definitely helps out. Let's say it like this. I'm actually curious if it shows. Oh, wait, that was wrong. That was actually wrong. I wanted to see this, the vehicle details. The base view range is... it doesn't show. Darn it. Yeah. Well, whatever. I can quickly have a look here if we are really that... if you really want to know that. AT-15A first, 350. Yeah, you will have a decent chunk of view range with 370 meters of view range when you use binos. So, left is the gun. The gun is, when it comes to penetration rate, underwhelming compared to the AT-15. It has 226 millimeters of penetration on the AT-15 compared to the 217 on the Turtle Mk1. The premium rounds are 258 millimeters of penetration compared to the 245. So again, penetration rate, not that well. The alpha, however, is juicy. Again, it's something completely new, 330 damage, and it is 100 damage more than what the AT-15 has. And the HE is even better. It has 150 damage more, and it can actually work with 54 millimeters of penetration. It's not 60 or not 90, what we have on other British tanks, or 120, which we have on the Tortoise, which is phenomenal. But still, with 54, you can wreck some faces. You can definitely wreck some pesky light tanks or even German tank destroyers' faces, and this is awesome in my opinion. And with 0.34 accuracy, which is still very good, it's not as good as the 0.29, but it's totally workable, so that is a good value. 1.7 seconds aim time is actually very good for such a punchy gun in my opinion. 6.6 second reload time, and we can do the calculations right here, so we can say 60 divided by 6.6 gives us 9.0909 and so on. Shots per minute times 330 alpha gives us 3000 DPM, which is 120 DPM more than what the AT-15 has. It is nothing compared to the Tortoise's 4000, but still, it's a very, 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 very good value. Like, hot damn, it's a freaking good value, and you can punch that DPM up a lot. you probably will go around 3500 DPM in the end, and that is an incredible value. Obviously, you pay for it with your very, very bad mobility, but I think if you really do enjoy playing Tortoise, you will enjoy playing the Turtle Mk1, and I think it will be a very, very good crew trainer and a premium tank. Again, my only real concerns are how is the armor looking and how are the chances for lower tiered opponents against the Turtle Mk1 and even same tiered opponents. How effective is it against premium rounds? How effective will it be against higher tiered opponents? How easy will it be penetrated by gold spamming 430 youuuu, obviously? Because even the Tortoise with its decent chunk of armor, this part over here doesn't matter. You can angle like this and they're still going to penetrate just fine because it's just 290 millimeters of effective armor. So you have issues against gold spamming turrets. Again, the only drawback against enemies is probably the lack of weak spots. The only drawback for the Turtle Mk1, if you enjoy the slow playstyle, is its lack of penetration. 217 is on the lower side. So, But 10 degrees of gun depression and 20 degrees of gun elevation are great. Like, sometimes you think, oh yeah, 20 degrees of gun elevation, when do you ever going to need it? It can help a lot. Like, for example, somebody is on the mines hill and you can actually aim at them. That is great. That's a good feeling. And 20 degrees of gun traverse angles are more than enough. And a talk of experience, the Tortoise feels great after the buff and it's a really enjoyable and fun tank to play. So yeah, I am genuinely looking forward to the Turtle Mk1. Again, the only thing left to know is how is the armor looking. Other than that, it looks like a very cool and actually very good model tank. Again, I'm a really big fan when there are sticks, when there are parts plastered onto the tank, which makes it look alive. What are your thoughts about the Turtle Mk1? Let me know in the comment section below, and obviously don't forget to have a look at the tests, at the thread in the forums about the Turtle Mk1. Give your opinion obviously there, and I keep you up to date as soon as we have a look at the armor model and when it comes out to the live server or the test server first. If you are new to the channel, feel free to leave a subscription. If not, feel free to leave a like and leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy the video. If I have to do something better, let me know in the comment section below. I'm always up for the feedback. And well, thank you so much for your attention, and I will talk to you all later.